doing spaghetti with meatballs. The recipe that I have for meatballs is very simple, not many ingredients, but very flavorful, basic, simple ingredients. Then we are going to cook the meatballs in a base of tomato sauce, and then we will serve it with an option of white sauce. So for the meatballs, I have half a kilo of ground beef, 1 tablespoon of ginger, 1 egg, a cup full of fresh breadcrumbs. You can use store-bought as well, works perfectly fine. I've got just a level teaspoonful of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon level of red pepper flakes, a pinch of oregano, a pinch of sage. For the white sauce, I have 2 tablespoons full of normal baking flour, a cup full of milk, a dash of butter. For the seasoning, I've got a pinch of sage, salt, pepper, sugar to taste. And then for the red sauce, I have 2 onions chopped, a tablespoonful of garlic, salt to taste, a pinch of sage, a teaspoonful of red pepper flakes, tomatoes finely diced, chopped, or pureed would do. I've got about 2 large tomatoes pureed over here. So let's get on with the recipe. So in a mixing bowl, I'm going to take my ground beef, which is not my ground beef, but the ground beef that I'm going to use for the meatballs. And I'm going to add in the egg. In goes the egg. Essentially all the ingredients. So ginger, your cumin, red pepper flakes, sage and oregano, fresh breadcrumbs, and I have here chopped 2 fresh green onions, and I'm going to use the white part of the onions for the meatballs. I'll save the green parts for the tomato sauce. So we give all the ingredients and the meat a good mix. Started off with a spoon, but now the best way to do it is with your hand, and just a little bit of salt. This would be a leveled teaspoonful, not much. And then we are ready to do our meatballs. Now for the sake of some evenness, I'm going to use this tablespoon as a measure, and then lightly wet my hands with water. That's how meatballs come nice and shapely, and they're easier to cook. I've put some oil on this place so that they don't stick to the base. So this is how we'll do all the meatballs. So with the meatballs nicely done, and Sumaya helped me with some of them, we are now going to move to the tomato sauce. I've got over a spoonful of cooking oil in a pan, which has been nicely heating up. I'll add in a dash of olive oil. It always gives a good taste. And then in go our chopped onions. So the onions have now softened up. We don't want to brown them. We don't want a very rich dark color to the tomato sauce. Bright and red should be fine. I will now add the garlic. The oil will get nicely infused. And now it's time for the tomatoes to go into the softened up onions and garlic. So the tomatoes have been simmering for about a good 5 minutes now. Let's give them a good check, quick check. Yeah, they are nicely cooking, and we still have the moisture which we will need to cook the meatballs. But before the meatballs go in, I will put in the seasoning, the red pepper flakes, oregano and salt. Give it a good stir. Yep. And the sauce is now ready for the meatballs. So now in go the meatballs, one by one, into the cooking onions, tomatoes, red chili flakes, some oregano and salt. And we will leave the meatballs to cook for about good 15-20 minutes. And these should be close to done by that time. So with the meatballs nicely cooking, we will move on to the white sauce. So we've got the butter, milk, cooking flour, some seasoning that we talked about earlier, and some olive oil. To the pan, I will add the butter. I'll let the butter melt with a dash of olive oil. The combination is always good, something that I've learned over years. So with the butter now all nicely melted, we'll add in the flour and keep on whisking. And now we will add in the milk and try to whisk at the same time. But if there are any lumps, don't worry, we can always strain them. Keep whisking till the mixture thickens. The white sauce has now thickened up, as we can see, and luckily no lumps at all. At this point, if you want, you can add cheese, you can add parmesan, you can add, what's the name, the mozzarella, the stretchy one. But since we have some lactose intolerance in our house, we are not going to do that right now. And I will add the seasoning, which is sage, black pepper, salt, and some sugar into the sauce. Give it a nice stir. And this is done. The meatballs have been cooking for some good 20 minutes or so. It's time for a quick check. Yes, they're nicely done with just the right quantity of sauce that I would want. And now we will move on with the spaghetti and then plate them out. So in a pot of boiling hot water, which has a little bit of oil and salt, in goes the pasta. And we will let the pasta cook. So the pasta is now boiled, nice, and double the volume, so that's good. So the pasta is now ready. We have plated it out. Just a final dusting with some parmesan if you have, and if you prefer, and a little bit of oregano around the edges. There we go, spaghetti with meatballs.